Ned Kelly was born to Irish parents, Red and Ellen Kelly, in the mid-1800s. He grew up in a colony known as Victoria in southeastern Australia, and at this time, there was a huge gold rush in Victoria. In fact, the population of Victoria increased from 80,000 people to 540,000 people in just 10 years because of this gold rush. And because of the gold rush, police officers from the United Kingdom were pulled into Victoria to help maintain order in the land. However, many of these police officers were Protestants, and they were very prejudiced against the Catholic settlers that had settled on farmland in Victoria. Ned Kelly unfortunately knew all about this prejudice. His father was arrested for the unlawful possession of a bullock hide, and he died in prison 6 months later. Ned himself was also arrested at the age of 16 for horse theft. In 1978, Ned's brother Dan was also accused of horse theft. And when Constable Fitzpatrick arrived at the Kelly residence to arrest Dan, it is said that he said some really offensive things to Katie Kelly, their sister. This enraged the Kelly family, and Ned was said to have shot Constable Fitzpatrick in the wrist during the brawl. After this, the Kelly brothers fled, and because of this, their mother, Ellen, was charged for their crimes. This outraged the locals, but it didn't outrage anybody more than the Kelly brothers. They met up with a few friends, Byrne and Hart, and they started what is known as the Kelly Gang. The Kelly Gang garnished a lot of support from the locals, and they were seen to be standing up for the common man. After the Kelly Gang attacked some police officers who were planning to arrest them, they became known as outlaws. They robbed banks and such for a little while, but then they decided to lay low for a couple years. And in 1880, they decided to organize an attack on a man named Aaron Sherritt, who they believed was a police informant. They hoped that this would draw the police to them, kind of like bait. They took hostages in this town, but then they let a couple go because they were not feeling well, they were sickly. And one of their sickly hostages ran and told the police what their plan was. So basically their plan was kind of ruined from the start. So Ned decided to make some homemade armor, and he prepared for a fight. They moved to the bushland, and that's when the shooting began. And Dan, Hart, and Byrne, they were all killed. But Ned, he was just injured. When Ned was arrested, he was found guilty and executed for his crimes. His body was thrown in a mass grave. But in 2010, they were able to confirm Ned's remains. They then reburied him in an unmarked grave because there's still resentment with the Kelly family, even after all these years. But some still see him as a hero.